on BleepinJeep, we aren't going to show you how to iron out your body damage, but we are going to show you how to fix your ripped seat, the cheapest way to fix your ripped seat. We looked at a few other options, like installing race seats, but then we had to have a harness bar, the harnesses. We also looked at purchasing some other seats like this one, but the majority of the ones we found had a rip. So we're going to show you how to fix your seat for less than $10.
So let me ask you, when you're riding down the road, does that seat hurt your butt? Can you feel the bar?
Oh my gosh, it hurts your butt.
Okay.
Look at this in there. This is what you're sitting on.
Straight up metal right here.
You see that right there?
Springs.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
So these are the materials that we're going to be using. A little adhesive glue, an iron-on patch, some thread and needle, an iron, which some of you savages might even have, and then some foam. About $2 for foam, $1 for the needles, $2 for the patch. This was the most expensive item at around $9, but most of you guys already have this stuff sitting around. So assuming you already have the glue, you can be into this for under $10.
So the first thing we're gonna do is trim the excess fibers, strings, everything. Basically just clean this part of the seat up. So let's get to it.
We have a few rips in this seat. There's one right here, there's one right here, and there's one right here. But this is the only one that hurts our butt. This is a function over form upgrade. It ain't gonna look pretty, but a lot of things about this Jeep don't look pretty.
It's gonna feel pretty. So the first step, got our foam. We're gonna cut a small piece and try to fit it into the innermost part of the seat.
Our hole is narrow at the bottom and wide at the top, so we're gonna start narrow, and then our pieces of foam will get wider with each layer. So you've got it test fit, yes?
Yes.
All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is pull that out, spray some of your adhesive in there, and then we'll make like an adhesive lasagna.
Ooh, lasagna.
Nice. Now we'll get a bigger piece, kind of measure it with your fingers like this, and put that in there. Maybe even cut to the contour of the hole. You don't have to be perfect with this, guys. Just get it nice and trimmed up to fit as best as it can without really bunching up. That's the whole goal of this. Then you'll take your adhesive spray, spray that on the foam piece you just installed and any of the spots where the new piece is going to touch. Now push down on that and see if you can feel that bar.
I think it could use one more thin piece right over here.
Cool. Yeah. So let's put one more just as like a cap over top of this.
Okay. Just for the whole thing?
Yep, cap the whole thing.
Our next step is to install our iron-on patch. You can get creative with this, guys. We just went with denim, but there's all kinds of choices. So we're going to use a shop rag to heat our surface up, but we don't want to melt any of the foam or the vinyl. So we're going to use the iron on a low setting and heat this up, and then we'll iron on our patch.
You want that surface getting hot? Test the surface. How's the vinyl side under the rag? Hot?
So now we'll put our patch on. We're going to iron this vinyl side first because then we want to kind of pull it into place. Oh yeah, that's sticking nice. Might even say it's a little bit sticky. but I might not.
You gotta be careful with all that sticky talk, you know? Some people get triggered over that. I guess everybody's gotta have something to be mad about.
So this side right here isn't wanting to stick as well, but that's okay because reinforcement. We're gonna sew along the edges as a backup. Make sure that it stays in place. So there's a little divot in your spool, and that's where the thread starts. So you're gonna take a little piece, cut the very end off because you want a smooth end to thread your needle, and it goes just right in the hole of this hook needle. So then you're gonna just tie the end in a couple knots. I'm gonna do 3 or 4. All right. Then you'll just cut an end. You want your end without the knot to be a little bit shorter so that when you're pulling through whatever you're sewing, it's the one that comes out first. All right, well, let's give it a try.
We're gonna come through and then tie the thread off to itself so that it can't pull through, because this needle is super thick and it's just reaming out that hole. So you'll have to give a good amount of pressure to get it through the seat. Not so much the patch, but coming back through the seat, that material is pretty tough.
So we had to move this party inside because it started raining. So forgive us if you hear raindrops on our shop roof.
We just wanted to show you guys, this is a driveway repair. You don't have to have a big fancy shop to fix your seat. Not that we have a big fancy shop, but you don't need a shop at all.
No, but we are blessed.
We are blessed. So now you're coming through the vinyl. Is this a little easier, a little tougher? What would you say?
I think it's a little easier. I was worried that it was gonna pull it, but
I was worried it was gonna be a little tougher.
well, I don't feel like I'm going through as much. And there, I was trying not to go through all the foam, and
Gotcha.
this isn't as bad. Yeah, so I'm gonna tie it off right here. Now, I don't really think there's any special way to do it.
Just double knot, double knot.
Double knot, triple knot, quadruple knot.
You use the needle again to direct
Use
the
the
knot.
needle to direct the knot and get it as close as you can, and then just tie you a couple knots, and then we'll cut the string and thread her up. So you just put the needle in the hole, pull it, so it's not gonna close until you take it out and get the knot where you want it. So we're tying off our second part right now, and then we're gonna work on this tricky part that wasn't wanting to stick as well when we ironed it on. That's okay, because we're gonna reinforce it manually.
Nice. I think that's gonna hold up nice. So I'll give you a hand and hold that down like that. Let's get that wind-blown look from the fan.
So just to add extra reinforcement, I'm gonna start before the last stitch. And maybe go through it a little bit. I'm also starting my stitch from the patch to the seat because I want to pull the patch out. I don't want to pull the patch in. I want to pull it out tight. I don't know if that's right, but it makes sense in my head.
Last one.
Last one. While we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and sew this little seat tear as well. We're not gonna patch it. Doesn't really have any bone missing. Still feels good, but we're gonna sew it together so the tear doesn't become bigger. So there you have it, guys. We got our iron-on patch installed. We got foam underneath it. Oh, that's gonna feel so good. So good. But we got a little overzealous, or I got a little overzealous with the iron. But our boys at Hooker Motorsports hooked us up with this cool patch, and it is the perfect fit to cover up this boo-boo. That'll look good.
Look at this skill. Puts me right there. Take the rag over. Drive it home. So nice, we got this little seam stitched up, this huge hole stitched up. These are still here, but doesn't bother us. The whole purpose of this was to get your butt off the metal frame of the seat. And guess what? That's gonna do it.
I'm gonna test it out.
Put that butt up in there.
Oh, yeah.
Much better.
That is nice.
And custom too.
Ooh-wee.
People would be like, what kind of seat is that?
Yeah, and we can even decorate it with patches like this one. Peep it.
Peep the patch.
So that's your $10 repair. But if you want to get fancy and you got an old drug rug sitting around and 2 bungee cords, you can make yourself a little seat cover. It'll protect the work that you just did, the stitches, the patches, protect all of that. And if you're on a night ride and get stuck for 8 hours on a trail, you can use it as a blanket.
Has that ever happened before?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it was a blast. I loved every minute of it, but it was a long ride. Okay, so you just drape it over your seat. Try to get the creases out because that will be uncomfortable. And we just fixed it for comfort.
So, yeah.
So you can put your 2 bungees together, put your seat in the check hold.
Yep, and you want the hooks on the sides.
Oh. Yeah, don't hook yourself. There you have it.
Now hop up in there. Totally custom.
Oh, that feels good.
And you've just gained butt comfort, warmth, and 2 bungees to secure things if you absolutely need them.
Yeah, what more do you need?
That's a BleepinJeep special right there.
All right, guys, like, subscribe, ring that bell, let us know what you think. If you're not on the Patreon already, go check that out on BleepinJeep.com.